What is up, and welcome to another edition of Scone T, where I make very salient points, things that matter and are relevant and related to sports and things you care about. And T-Bob talks about mindless nothings that really just annoys the shit out of me all the time.
Yeah, like, you know, I tend to have like a better vocabulary, a better way to paint a picture with words. I think I tend to set the scene narratively a bit better, make people love it a lot more.
That I walked in on
just now.
I mean,
the Obi-Wan. Don't say anything that involves actual details from the episode.
Do you think I was actually paying attention to any of the dumb shit you were talking about? Like,
I mean, it sounds like you were.
I walk over here, and all it is, it's like Nerd Central, where you all are riffing on stupid details about a fucking made-up show.
Yeah,
what the hell was that?
It's called mythology, right?
Jesus
And, people discussing stories together and the lessons that we can learn from them. Yes. It's something that literally goes back to the beginning of time, Matt. So we are engaging in a practice as old as anything else in this world, right? They say prostitution is the world's oldest job. Okay, well,
profession.
Talking about badass stories is the world's oldest pastime.
And
so that's exactly what we're doing. You know, J.R. Tolkien used to argue this with C.S. Lewis, when C.S. Lewis would say that fantasy was lies spun through silver. J.R. Tolkien actually wrote an entire treaty called On Fairy Stories, where he's basically talking about how, like, because it's free of all of our real-world political bullshit, we can learn the most inherent and most core lessons to what it means to be human.
Neat. All right, Scone
through fantasy and mythology.
We are live, and we are live.
Matthew?
We are live here at Oliver Twist every Wednesday, 7 o'clock Central. From 7 to 8, we are live. If you could be here, come hang out at Oliver Twist. If you can't be here, you can always watch on the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube and the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge Facebook page. And, of course, on demand, audio or video. So thank you for being here with us live. As we're into the summer months, but you know what's I don't know about you. Actually, I don't know if you and I have ever had this conversation.
What's up, dude?
By the way, do you like the new studio chair?
Well, I haven't used a chair for a few months now, but I do like it when I'm prepping before the show. Yeah, it's God damn it. I clown you all the time for talking about chairs all the time, and yet you invite this again. I know. I saw the bit. You were like, I've seen old ladies speak in tongues. My mom grew up in a Pentecostal church, and you literally were not far off from the old women that I've seen speak in tongues. So, yes, I think in finally getting your chair, you had something akin to a deep religious experience.
It's about fucking time.
But, no, I stand up. We're in meathead mode on OTB right now, so we stand up and do 25 push-ups after every segment. 300 a show, baby.
It's not a bad practice to be in.
No, I like it, dude. It keeps my energy levels up in the morning. I find it makes interacting a little spicier, a little better a lot of times. So it's been,
keep the blood flow. You don't yawn as much.
Well, actually, that's what it really unlocked is we can wear shorts in studio now because they're not freezing anymore.
I don't freeze in that studio anyway.
It's not as cold in the afternoon.
Before anybody, well, talk to him. Old young Matthew Musso here bitches about him and Paul. About Paul wears a fucking sweatshirt every day too.
I was a sweatshirt everyday guy.
And I'm like, I hate the cold. Like, I would rather live in 100 degrees with 115 humidity than -5 every day. Like, always give me sweating hot over cold. That's not even a discussion. Anybody who says you can always add more layers, you're full of shit, because there are points when it's so cold it doesn't matter how many layers you put on. There is no protecting yourself.
No, I mean, not in Louisiana. You're never going to get to that point here.
Not here. That's what I'm saying. Like, my freshman year of college in South Bend, dude, there was our finals after the first semester got canceled because there was a blizzard. Like, literally, not made up, not remade, not postponed. Like, they canceled finals because
like that one Harry Potter when they canceled fires because Voldemort killed the kid.
So anyway, when you walk outside, and like I remembered the hairs in my nostrils froze, and like that is painful. There's fucking nothing you can do about that.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah, but then, like 120, there's not much you can do about that either.
I don't care. I'd rather that and sweat and
well,
you know what?
You know why you don't get cold in the studio, Matt?
And if you say because I'm a fat guy, that's so stupid. Because you're the biggest guy in there. People people joke about that. They're like, oh, because you're big. I'm like, T-Bob is the biggest guy who works at our station.
If we want to talk about projecting, I think that's what you just did. No, I was going to say because you're so full of hot air.
I wasn't projecting at all. I was just making a very honest statement.
Chat. That's why he doesn't get cold, because he's so full of hot air. Huh? The old gas bag? Maybe, old Matt Gas Scone?
Or maybe it's because I do move around more. I'm sort of theatrical maybe in nature during the show.
No, yeah, you're a very physical show. Like you said, you literally spoke in tongues over the procurement of a new office chair.
When you do a solo show for 3 hours, like
you got to bring the heat.
You got to.
I fucking feel you, dude.
You got to do that.
I fucking feel you.
Aaron Hornsby, Nick Torino. What's up, Nick Torino? Good to see you. That's
What's up, Nick? I know.
That's Mr. Beth Torino.
Yeah, wrestling fan extraordinaire.
Ryan Amanda Guidry, what's good? Appreciate y'all for being here. Drop your comments again if you're watching live on YouTube. Please smash that like button. And subscribe up to the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel, Facebook. Please like the 104.5 ESPN page and share the post. Yes, sir.
And go ahead and get your questions in the chat. I will be logging them from the YouTube chat. I will be logging them, and we will get to them near the end of the show.
We do have some baseball roster stuff to talk about, and I do actually have a few LSU football topics that I want to dive into today.
I've got one as well that I want to pick your brain on.
Okay, good. I'll actually defer and let you go first. Do you want to go, or do you want to start with baseball?
We can start with baseball. That's fine.
Okay. So I guess the Cliff's Notes. Well, actually, before we do that, let's talk about tonight's pour. Tonight's pour is Four Roses single barrel. I always mention to people if you are interested or starting to get into whiskey, this is always one that I will mention in my starter kit.
Okay.
And this would be the priciest bottle in the starter kit, which this is going to run you around $55 thereabouts, right around $55. But I always mention Sazerac rye, so you get a rye in there, which is $27. I mention Basil Hayden, which is right around $30 and is super easy to drink. And then I mention Elijah Craig Small Batch, which is also in that $25, $27 range. It gives you a real punchy, full-flavored whiskey, not as mild as Basil Hayden. And then if you want to step up, I'll tell you Four Roses single barrel.
It's got a nice little bite to it.
If you will let it open up too, it will mellow. But if you want to get into whiskey and you pour Four Roses single barrel, you let it sit, you let it aerate, you let it breathe, you let it open up, and you don't enjoy the taste of that, you're probably just not going to like whiskey, because Four Roses has so much. It's floral, it's vanilla. It gives you some spice and oak that you get customarily with a whiskey. It's just a great product. And if you don't like Four Roses single barrel, you're just probably not gonna like this category. So this is as good a bottle as you'll find. $5 pours here on Four Roses single barrel while we're here tonight.
Oh my God! Right when I
went
to talk, right when I went to talk, I sucked in air and it just went down the wrong pipe.
Oh, because you're full of hot air.
Yeah. Okay, you can throw. It's a good
joke.
joke.
Is that what you're doing?
It's a good joke. So now you're happy to steal it. I agree. It was kind of, this whiskey made me feel a little full of hot air for sure. But do you want me to talk my LSU football topic?
Yeah, go ahead with that. We'll circle back to baseball because I don't want to. Because I guess just fundamentally people care more about LSU football than baseball.
Yeah, that's fair.
Baseball, though, is the most newsy right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Because Jay Johnson is doing he's just fucking doing amazing work right now, retooling this roster, which we'll talk about. But anyway, go ahead with your football topic because I have one too.
Okay, so the 247 top 25 came out, and so did the Lindy top 25.
Preseason rankings?
Yes.
Okay.
And so it's not the AP, it's not the coaches poll, but the LSU football Tigers are nowhere to be found in either top 25. Okay. And this is interesting to me because after the 2019 National Championship, I remember me and Brody Miller on my old Hold That podcast would have a lot of.
That was shitty.
We would have a lot of debates about should LSU be in the top 5 benefit of the doubt club, right? Like Oklahoma's in there, Ohio State, Bama, Georgia. Like no matter who they lose, they are going to be ranked in the top 10 at least, probably the top 5. And we were kind of arguing that maybe LSU should, or actually what we said, where we landed was, well, 2020 would prove whether or not they belong to that club. Well, they obviously did not. The last 2 years have proved that. But I still think in a world where schools like Ole Miss, after losing Matt Corral, is still ranked at 17, and Arkansas is at 13, and Texas, they had Texas at 25. Go 247, I think, had Texas in the top 20. Like, in a world where some of these other teams are getting the benefit of the doubt to be even the top 25, I don't think they have as much skins as the wall at LSU, especially because of the Brian Kelly factor. If it was an unknown coach, a coach coming up, taking over after the Texas Bowl, I get it. Texas Bowl was a real low moment. But you were talking about the winningest active college football coach joining the program that has won multiple national championships. Like, that feels like if LSU doesn't finish in the top 25, that feels like a failure in year number one.
Okay, so I'm actually glad you brought this up, believe it or not, because our topics do have some synergies.
Shout out to John Hopper, maybe somebody kind of pointed me a poll earlier, and that's what this all spun out of. Anyway, Todd Hoover.
So I believe LSU did get the benefit of the doubt. So here's what I mean. So LSU has the national championship year in 2019. They lose all the talent from 2019, right?
Yeah.
The 5 first-rounders and all the shit. LSU was preseason top 5 in 2020.
Yes.
2020 was, let's see, I'll look it up real quick. 2020 college football preseason.
I guess,
rankings.
okay, so one thing I would say to this, though, is the bar for the benefit of the doubt club for the top 25 is way different than the top 5.
Okay, LSU, hold on. LSU is 4th.
Okay.
All right, so you win the Natty, you lose everybody, you're preseason number 4.
Yeah.
Okay, we all agree. That's fair. Like, you won the national championship, greatest season ever, and you still had a lot of talent coming back. You brought in Eric Gilbert.
Yep.
Right? I mean, you had questions, but this was Brennan's team now. Remember, you had a veteran quarterback.
Yep.
And you did still have a lot of defenders returning. You had Elias Ricks coming in. You still had Derek Stingley.
We had talked our way into it. Yeah, you could talk your way into it.
But even still, like, if we go back and actually sift through that season, like, LSU shitted away a lot of games. They shitted away Mississippi State.
They should have been
shitted
7-3.
away Missouri.
Should have been 7-3,
at least 7-3 in that season. Like, they had the talent to do it, and that's the reason Ed Ogeron is the coach anymore. He mismanaged the roster and lost close games, and we get it, right? But after you go 5-5, all right, you win the Natty, you go 5-5. LSU got the benefit of the doubt again because the way people excused away was, well, it was COVID. It was COVID, and it was fucked
up.
Lost
a ton of people.
I lost a ton of people, all that shit. And last year, after going 5-5, LSU was preseason number 16. They were ranked preseason.
Yeah.
And then you shit the bed again.
Yeah.
And you go 5-5. You lose the bowl game. You go 5-6.
Yeah.
And you have 39 scholarship players. And so I agree with you on Brian Kelly, which is one of the points I want to get to, which is what I want to get to, which we'll get to. But is it relevant for this year? We'll find out. But realistically, I couldn't vote LSU preseason top 25 this year.
They should be somewhere 20 to 25. You just slide them in there because of their resume, because of Brian Kelly. It's just a mathematically safe play.
If I had a vote, I would not have LSU in my top 25. I don't know who the quarterback's going to be. I don't know if the running back room is any good. Yes, I believe the receivers are excellent. I don't know if they're going to be able to throw the ball. You lose 4 out of 5 starters on the offensive line, and the one guy's back may not even start. Your defense was very, very bad for the first half of last year, and then you lose everybody. You lose Ricks and McLaughlin. I mean, my point here, you lose your leading tackler in Damone Clark. You don't have a lot to lean on to say, because, like, and this is how, if I'm looking at a preseason projection for a team, I always look at who has the fewest amount of questions against the most manageable schedule. That's how I. This isn't whatever. This is just what I do.
Yeah.
LSU has a shit ton of questions. Now, I think, because we know the team well, I think a lot of them are going to go well, and then I think Brian Kelly objectively makes them better.
So, I mean, I think the counterpoint there is, you know that LSU always has talent. Even if you don't know who they are, the draft has proven that you can trust that there will be NFL talent there. And I know you're building up from 39. You get in transfers. There's still going to be NFL guys all over this roster. I think you also lean on, like national championships. And, years and years of finishing the top 25 when combined with a coach of Brian Kelly's resume. And then again, you look at teams like Ole Miss, who I like Ole Miss, but they have the most brutal 4-game stretch of anybody in the entire country. Jackson Dart may be good, but guess what? Miles Brennan may be good. Right, he was pretty damn fucking good when he played. So it's like
I disagree.
Well, we're not getting that debate again because I can't argue with somebody who's wrong. It's tough to do, you know.
He played in 4 games.
We're not doing this again. We're not doing this again, dude. We've done this so many times. We've done this dance so many goddamn times.
No, hold on. But we haven't. But if you're going to point out the fact that he threw for 400 yards against Missouri, I'll point out that the motherfucker from Mississippi State threw for 600 yards against LSU, and Costello wasn't even starting a month later.
Was Miles? It doesn't matter. Was Miles playing against LSU's defense? Miles got better game to game.
Missouri.
Yeah, he got better game to game.
He did not.
Yeah, Matt, I literally I struggle with this because I think like objectively, statistically, he did, and if you watch the games. The rhythm with which he operated with was infinitely more confident against Mizzou than it was game 1 against Mississippi State, where he was very tentative. He was kind of running around needlessly a lot. That ball was coming out against Mizzou, and he looked way more comfortable. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because this is a distraction point from the point I'm actually trying to make. Jackson Dart is still an unknown as well. Like, we don't know if Jackson Dart's good, but because it's Lane Kiffin, you're giving the benefit of the doubt. Where's the benefit of the doubt for a school that's won a bunch of natties, always has a ton of NFL players drafted, and it's Brian Kelly. I'm not really incensed by this. I think it's a great place for Kelly to be starting year 1 from. It's like the best place. It's literally no expectation whatsoever. People are telling you you're not even going to be in the top 25. I just think that I just think it's a little funny when you look at schools like Texas and others getting that benefit of the doubt, and LSU with way more recent success not.
So Lane Kiffin is going to get the benefit of the doubt, and he's been at Ole Miss, and he is running that offense. And if it's Jackson Dart or someone else who wins that job, Lane Kiffin is going to get the benefit of the doubt because he's a proven offensive coach. He's a play caller, and that's the constant, right? I mean, it's if 2012 Bountygate taught us nothing else, it's that yes, the head coach absolutely matters. No matter how much structure and all the shit you have in place, like you remove the head of the snake. It matters.
Yeah.
It's going to matter. So I believe that's why, like, if Lane Kiffin, what was Ole Miss ranked preseason in Lane Kiffin's first year in Oxford?
I mean, that's what I'm saying, though. If LSU's biggest problem the last 2 years was culture, is that not Brian Kelly's main selling point?
I get it.
And everybody that you talk to around the program, the main thing they're talking about? Look, man, it's summer. You know, I'm looking to feel a little disrespected, and I think it's kind of bullshit, dude. It's hot out here. I'm feeling fucking frisky for a fight. Bring it down here.
All right,
247.
Lane Kiffin. All right, Lane Kiffin, respected Lane Kiffin, who we just talked about. Ole Miss was not ranked in the preseason in 2020, his first year. They were not ranked.
No, for sure.
That's Lane Kiffin because he's coming into a new situation. Now he's been there for 2 years. He's won there. And
Brian Kelly swings a bigger dick than Lane Kiffin, though.
I think there's an argument to be made.
He should. I mean, that's insane if he doesn't. You want to talk about resume. That's why it was a crazy hire when it was made, because it's a Tier 1 resume.
No doubt. We're not disagreeing on that. But there's something to be said for Lane Kiffin already having been at Ole Miss for 2 years and having won there and having culture and consistency, and that's why they're there. But the point that I was going to bring up to you was, like, I do this bit on AFR. It's like random feigned indignance from sports talk radio guy over random summertime list.
Yeah, I mean, What do you mean? This is the rankings, bro. This ain't no random
like,
shit.
I get it that print media, like, you've still got to generate web traffic for your site during a time where there are no games, so you have to create talking points. So I do understand, but the list thing is just fucking stupid, and the fact that people argue over lists is fucking dumb. But I saw something that
preseason polls, though, are a way to get a hive mind national perspective on what your team is thought of as.
I don't mind preseason rankings. They're always proven wrong because there's always someone who starts every year. Every year, there's someone who starts in the top 10 who finishes the season unranked. LSU was that team in 2020. But every year that happens, so I'm with you.
Leah Van just walked in. Check it out.
Hey!
There we go.
Hey!
Learns how to talk baseball.
How about that? But so ESPN did this thing where they're trying to project the next 3 years, right? How teams right
now here's some summer shit.
No, but hold on. They basically take your future quarterback rankings, your defense rankings, your offense, all that shit, and they cobble it together and they spit out who's going to be good over the next 3 years. Okay, and they actually had LSU number 10, but I'm completely disinterested in their list. The point that I came to was, I think it is, as stupid of an exercise as that is to begin with, it has never been more meaningless because of the transfer portal.
Yeah, you can remake your roster night and day.
Do you realize
Which
that
is also why Brian Kelly should be getting more weight on the scale.
I'm going to get to that. No, that's what I'm going to get to. So if you look back, if you did this exercise in 2020, you're projecting 2020, 21, 22 with Eric Gilbert at LSU.
Yeah.
The highest ranked tight end ever.
Yeah.
How did that work out?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Alabama, 5-star linebacker Drew Sanders. 1 year at Bama, now he's at Arkansas. Go back and look at last year's projection. It just doesn't fucking matter because every single year rosters are made over and improved in spots.
I wonder if it matters, and you're right. I do think the transfer portal probably flips all of this. But I do wonder if conversations like that matter on the macro. Like if you're dealing with a high volume of teams, maybe more often than not you're going to be right because the Rick Gilberts and others are kind of the exceptions, maybe not the rules. So maybe it's one of those deals where it's like scouting where maybe it's 60% right, but it's so much wrong there that it's hard to appreciate that it's hard to actually get that 60% right. Though I kind of doubt all of that because the transfer portal. Michigan State going from what it did 1 year to the next is the ultimate Power 5 flex on what it can do.
And this is the point where I'll say why I have confidence in the hire LSU made. And I think you would agree with this, and nobody would ever disagree with me on this, is that if I thought Brian Kelly was going to suck shit, I would tell you that I think he's going to suck shit.
Yeah, I believe that.
Okay. I look at a guy that has had to recruit nationally at Notre Dame against strict academic restrictions or standards with inferior facilities. What?
That's just a funny college football fan view into the mind as far as priorities, right?
Well,
you calling them restrictions versus standards. I agree. I'm not judging, but
sure.
that is very much how we're framing these things.
We're not talking
standards,
about school.
What the fuck, dude? I didn't come here to play school. I came here to play football.
We're not talking about
Cardale
school.
Jones shit.
We're not talking about school.
Yeah,
we're talking about football.
I agree.
So
fuck a standard.
When he has had to
what's the lowest possible standard?
When he has had to build a roster and consistently win, and then the most impressive part was what he did this offseason. I don't know how it's all going to work out for the 2022 football season. Maybe we disagree on this. I think LSU has a lower ceiling than probably a lot of LSU fans want to hear. I think their ceiling this year is 9-3. I don't see how they get above 9-3.
Yeah, there's a lot. Keaton Barry keeps saying 10-2, bet, and I would not bet 10-2.
10-2?
I would not bet 10-2.
Yeah,
No. 9-3.
Oh no, that's because of Dwayne from Thibodeau, who I'd punch in the fucking face if he walked in right
here. 9-3 though would be a great success.
I agree.
If you could go 9-3.
So, but if you're 8-4, there's a chance you end up unranked, which is why
absolutely.
the preseason top 25 thing is. I get
it.
but
not if you finish 9-4. 9-4 is going to see you in that top 25, Barry.
I could see a scenario where LSU goes 7-5 this year, has some really disappointing losses, but maybe a really encouraging win. Maybe you go to Florida and win, or go to Auburn and win, but you lose to Bama. Maybe you lose at home to Tennessee.
Would going to Florida and winning be that encouraging? Given that,
always,
fuck
bro.
Florida, they've been our bitches though. Dude.
But it's always it
always feels great.
Winning in Gainesville,
it always feels great.
Winning in Gainesville is hard, just like winning in Baton Rouge is hard, which is why Auburn didn't do it for 20 fucking years. It's hard to come to Baton Rouge and win. It's hard. You played. How hard is it to go on the road and win in the SEC?
No,
it's
my
fucking
favorite
hard.
win of all time was in Gainesville because I think we hadn't won there in a while.
That was 2010, the Terrence Tolliver game. So I guess that's why I look at that. My whole point with that is I don't even give a shit about the 3-year projection and all. It's all that's bullshit. Who cares? But I think it's because of this culture of college football where in a single year you can make over your roster. Dude, look at the starting quarterbacks in the SEC this year. Half the league is going to be starting transfers. Half the fucking league is starting transfers.
Which, at that position makes all the sense in the world. But it's such an all-or-nothing position.
But it's so important. It's no longer about, Dude, I used to be so bullish on you have got to sign a quarterback every year. You can point back to so Miles signed Ryan Perrilloux in 05, did not sign a quarterback in 06.
Yeah.
And what happened when Perrilloux got booted? You were stuck with Andrew Hatch and a redshirt freshman in Jarrett Lee.
Yeah.
And you were fucked because you
And
didn't have
eventually a
depth.
true freshman in George Jefferson.
Exactly. So you had, because you missed that class.
Yeah.
Like you missed a cycle and it fucking cost you. So like I've always been bullish. You've got to sign a quarterback every single class. You don't have to anymore. You don't have to anymore. Just fucking go in the portal.
Yeah.
Go get Jaden Daniels, who started 30 games in his career. Because there's going to be
It may not start here, but it doesn't matter. It's still a positive addition no matter what because he pushes the room.
Would you rather Jaden Daniels as a 30-game starter or a 4-star true freshman?
Yeah, exactly.
It's my point. So I don't give a shit. Like, it doesn't matter
you call
anymore.
Walker Howard a 4-star, dude?
Hypothetically.
Okay.
Didn't he finish? That's not what I was talking about, but I just mean in general.
Around these parts, that boy's a 5-star. You
Call him whatever
understand
he wants.
now?
I think Walker Howard's going to do great.
That guy's a 5-star to lead us in the future.
I thought he was a
against
4-star.
the Orc armies. I think he did finish 4-star, but that's not a truth that we acknowledge, bitch. That's what
Why
I'm
not?
saying. Because fuck Eli Holstein.
Yeah, he was 4-star.
Fuck Arch Manning. It's all about Walker
The number 5
Howard.
quarterback in the country, the
Hey,
40th overall player, and he's a 4-star.
Eli and Arch. That's all in jest. Do what's best for you. But if you come to LSU, I'd take all that back. It'd be super tight.
Dude, I went to, you'll appreciate this. I remember when Dylan Moses went to Alabama and people melted here. Because he'd been committed and he flipped out.
Yeah.
I remember going on air.
Since 8th grade.
I remember going on air, and I was like, so my brother, your mom lives in Malibu, so you'll appreciate this.
Yeah.
My brother lived in L.A. for a couple of years. I went and visited him, and I always love to go see college campuses, so I went to Pepperdine. And Pepperdine's,
it's right there on the PCH.
Okay,
it's
dude,
crazy.
You turn off of Pacific Coast Highway.
Yeah.
Into the driveway to the fucking university.
It's on the mountain. You see it. It's on the mountain, like built into the mountain.
It is your dorm is built into a mountain.
It's some elite person shit.
Overlooking.
It's like Hogwarts.
The Pacific Ocean. Some of the most prime real estate in the world.
Yeah.
In Malibu, California.
And it's a private school. You know,
Private
they got
school.
fucking money.
And I said this when I said, like, if my kid were smart enough, talented enough, gifted enough, blessed enough, whatever, to be able to attend Pepperdine, I would be over the moon.
Yeah, especially if it was on Pepper's dime.
Pepper's dime. Go wherever you want to make you happy, man. Now, the consequence is, if you're Dylan Moses, people in Baton Rouge ain't going to be down with you, and that's okay.
Yeah, I don't think Dylan Moses is sweating it.
But, I mean, but he's a guy who's been injured and hasn't really made an NFL career. He went undrafted.
Has he not?
Hurt his knee, went undrafted, caught on with the Jaguars, didn't play a lot. Yeah, so he's really struggled. So that's cool, though. I mean, dude, nothing but, mad respect. Dude did what's best for him.
Guys, let's be clear. I'm not really hating on Eli Holstein Arch Manning.
I'm supporting your point. I'm supporting your point.
You know me. I love storylines. I love the narratives. I love that we could have these 3 great quarterbacks from Louisiana that could all be quarterbacking different schools that could potentially cross paths. We don't make quarterbacks, and we have, this crazy golden generation cropping up right now, which is wild.
And Ricky Collins from Woodlawn
seems to be the hot name when this conversation is brought up as a guy who's left out.
I'm going to tell you, I saw this kid play one game. I watched him play last year against Catholic. It is
against who?
Against Calicut. It is hard in football for one person to take over a game. In basketball, it can happen. It is very hard in football for one person to just wreck shit.
On the high school level, it's easier, but it's still harder than any other sport. It's a weak link sport versus a strong league sport because one player only represents about 9% of the people on the field at any given time, where in basketball it's 20%.
And the quarterback has the ball in his hands every play.
And then so you got to put the weight on the scale over the court. So then we get into chess position analogies where the quarterback is essentially the queen. In chess,
just finish the fucking
in chess, the queen is worth 10, Matt. Okay? Pawns are 1. Your rooks are 5. Minor pieces are 3. And the queen is worth 10. Linemen or pawns. The queen's the quarterback. Continue. What about Ricky Collins? Tell me about Ricky Collins. Get me fired up.
He fucking he individually took over in the second half and wrecked Catholic High, which won the state championship, by the way.
That's beast.
Wrecked them.
You got it. I mean, you love it on that stage, dude.
That kid's committed to Purdue. I don't know if it's something where, I'm going to tell you, flatly, I get it, Arch, all the shit. Holstein, everything. If LSU gets Ricky Collins, I'm pumped. Like,
Yeah.
I am legit fucking pumped because that dude is an alpha and he can play, bro. Like, I saw enough. Like, yep. So, you know, sometimes you just see it. Like, yep, that dude's different. That dude's different.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't care what his measurables are. I don't care if he's too short to be a 5-star. I don't give a shit. Like, that dude can play. Give me him.
And there is something to be said. Well, it's weird because you see both situations work out. There's something to be said for the athletic freak that is a very raw piece of clay that you feel like you can mold. But then also there's something to be said for the winner. And that's why people give a fuck about winning state championships. That's like why in Friday Night Lights, Mike Winchell's trying to win state so he can get a scholarship offer. Actually, all jokes aside, that is one of the only reasons why my old man got a scholarship offer, even from Northwestern State back in the day, is because they won state. They were not a passing team. Like, they barely fucking threw the ball. But just that kind of winning edge did a lot for him. If a pawn is 1 point, how many's a pog? 11.
Aaron Hornsby said, I have to agree with you, Matt. As bad as it hurts to say this, time to prove we belong.
That's bullshit, though, Aaron. If Texas belongs, we fucking belong. What are you talking about? What the fuck has Texas done to give them the benefit of the doubt? Like, you can't even tell me Lane Kiffin when it comes to Texas. You're telling me Sarkisian, and I kind of believe that. But like, what does Sarkisian even do? Like, if we're putting it on balance,
Or that where are they in your preseason?
Brian Kelly takes Steve Sarkisian's resume and just rips it apart, dude. I think they were 25 on the.
But
on
you
the
know
Lindy's
what?
top 25.
You know what? You know what that's going to be because they got Quinn Ewers. That's why. And I'm with you, by the way. Quinn Ewers didn't do a damn thing at Ohio State last year.
More like Quinn Ewers.
It's hype, but yeah.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong, Matt. I fucking love a good hype train, right?
Would you
Quinn
take
Ewers,
Quinn Ewers?
Spencer Rattler at South Carolina.
They were 5-7 last year, by the way.
Yeah,
too.
dude,
So
Beamer's good.
Would you? No. Texas.
Oh.
Texas 5-7.
Yeah, exactly. They fucking
I'll
suck.
Would,
Isn't that funny, though, for Texas? They fucking suck for South Carolina. He's at 5-7. I'm like, hey, Beamer. Beamer's good, dude.
Expectation determines everything. I mean, like, expectation determines how you feel about a result. This place is packed, by the way.
It's popping off on a Wednesday night.
Crazy?
You love to see it, dude.
What's crazy is when we started doing this show here, they wanted to do Wednesday because they said Wednesday was their slowest day.
Yeah, which makes you think, how busy does this place get normally? Sheesh.
Like, no, but, like, it's busy now.
No, exactly.
It's fucking crazy. It's
That's
awesome.
what I'm saying. So, and I'm taking
saying,
credit for it all.
I'm taking credit for it. That's what I'm saying.
seeing a lot of young female groups, and I feel like that's our demographic. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take credit. They're here to listen to some Scone T.
I mean, this table are our people. Those are my friends.
Lambdas,
those old people are here to see us.
Theta Chi.
Yep.
Sigma Nu.
Anyway.
Phi Mu.
All right, get to your other point.
I think that was my point.
Oh, that was your point. Okay, so we got to talk baseball. Feel free to drop your comments or questions in
I've got
chat.
a lot of questions.
Okay, keep the questions coming.
Yeah.
You want to shout out some people on YouTube? Thank you, Daniel Bastian,
Yeah,
for watching.
man.
Avo, what's up, man? Good to see you there.
We got Raymond here. We got Daniel Basham, Avo Marzawani, Bilbo Baggage, Nola Custom Closet, Pat Hoisman Sr., SD25, Music, Paul Pollard, Nismo, Brennan McGlenn, Kobe, T-Dub, Jameson's Legs, Fonzarelli,
Okay, I have two things to ask.
Kobe.
Number one.
Greg Duga. Keith Berry.
Presently, 106 people watching. We have 28 likes. Let's get the likes up, please.
Yeah, sure, that'd be
If
great.
you're watching on mobile, X out of the live chat. Hit the thumbs up. Hit live chat. Comments come right back. And right now, the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel is at 13,900 subscribers.
Oh, okay, yeah, let's push to 14K, boys.
I think we can. I'll check the exact number. Let me go to the
Greg Lamont, what's up,
YouTube
man?
studio. Is that Leman?
Yeah.
I call him Greg Lehman.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Greg Lehman.
Well,
he texts me. Greg Lehman.
Yeah. I mean, I could see going either way.
All right, no, listen. Look, 104.5 ESPN. Look at those subs. 13,988.
Oh, guys, we need
12 away.
subs, dude.
Motherfuckers, like we're 12 away.
We need 12 subs.
We need
If
12
you're not
of you
subbed
bastards
to the
to go
channel,
hit the subscribe button
Let's
on
go.
the Watch 104.5 ESPN. If we don't get 12 more subs by the end of the show, I'm gonna be pissed.
Aaron Hornsby got her done. There we go. Like it and subscribe.
Get her done.
By the way, I could outdrink Steve Sarkisian.
Oh, not a good joke. That's not a good joke.
No, somebody asked me if
No,
I
I
could.
get it, but that's a joke. Like, don't. I mean, that guy was a legit alcoholic.
Oh my God!
No,
I can't.
come on, bro.
I can't. No, I can't fucking handle your pearl clutching, drawing lines of jokes. We're just firing off jokes. Like, it is what it is, dude. Sark gets it. He's highly paid in a public forum. He knows the score. When you do that, it's gonna follow you for life. I get it. I get that shit all the time. It is what it fucking is, dude. It's just a little joke. Just a little joke. Hope Texas doesn't drive him back off the wagon, right? I mean, dealing with all those Texas boosters all the time. Sheesh. Oh, by the way, Greg Lamont says I got it right. Bitch. Bam.
No, it's Lehman.
Count it.
No, it's Greg Lehman, for sure.
Josh Van Tassel saying the best duo in the business, polar opposites, are so damn enjoyable. Thanks, Josh. He also says T-Bob's LSU jersey will be happening.
You know what's crazy?
First time I'm able to join live. What's up, baby?
You know what's up, Joshua? The bane of my existence professionally for your enjoyment.
Yep.
Sitting next to him, listening to stupid Star Wars shit, awful analogies, endless conversations about fucking like Sun Tzu and whatever the fuck else he's going to talk about that doesn't make a goddamn lick of sense, but I do it for your enjoyment.
Hey, Fonz. He says, Drunk T-Bob, read the damn questions like Matt asked. Matt didn't ask.
I didn't ask,
for
by
the
the way.
questions
I don't
yet.
want your questions
That's at
yet.
the end of the show.
That's the end of the show. See, you actually have me agreeing with him.
Hey, Fonzie, what happened, baby?
All right, Ryan Thibodeau said, can you recap what's going on with LSU baseball since regionals, which is actually what we're going to go to. So
yeah, I know.
Hey,
I got this, Matt. Okay?
please.
He signed a two-time Big East Pitcher of the Year, Dylan T-Break. Come on down, baby.
It's actually Tabrock.
Tabrake.
Nope, Tabrock.
Tabrock.
Got
Dylan Tabrock, two-time Big East Pitcher of the Year.
Third time's a charm.
And, yeah, exactly. So his third year, he's going to be SEC Pitcher of the Year. And they just signed, I'm a little hazy on the first name, Michael Pineda.
Nope.
Something Pineda. Jack Pineda.
Who was on AFR today. Good interview. Go listen to it.
Who is the Baylor starting shortstop
Was.
and he started, over 100 games the last 2 years. He batted .315 in that time around there and had a .966 fielding percentage. For context, Jordan Thompson's fielding percentage was in the 890s this last year. How about that? So what did Jay John say you needed? Pitching and fielding. And you got a two-time Big East Pitcher of the Year and a 2-year 300 hitter that's a leadoff man and has a .960 fielding percentage for shortstop. Let's fucking go. I said pitching and hit. I meant pitching and defense. So you hit both those. And that's what's happened. Oh, and the coaches left. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dan Fitzgerald, recruit coordinator. See ya. Kansas head coach. How about that?
Yep.
Jason Kelly, my big-bodied O-line brethren. Looks like a high school line coach. Love that man. Did a great job with his pin this year. Going back to UW, the place where he brought much success in the